Shattering Glass Chapter 3. It's been 5 years since that night in the gym. What you don't understand is that he helped me. Maybe what he and the others did changed my plans for the future, but he's paid for that in more than one way. The future I have now is a good one, and I wouldn't have it without him. So, sure, I'm going to help him now. It's what a decent person does. Jeff Cooper. After school, the four of us worked out in the weight room. I spotted Coop lifting a barbell that weighed approximately the same as a '57 Buick. Rob glided on the rowing machine, and Bobster curled free weights in front of the mirror. Coop spoke as he lifted. What's this huff deal you're making with glass? Rob eased his legs out. We turned Simon Glass into Prince Charming. He swiped his dripping forehead with a towel, then tossed it at Bobster. Bobster kicked the towel, eyes fixed on the mirror. Cut it out. I'll lose count. Bobster put one weight against his hip, turned slightly sideways, and raised one weight in an overhand grip, tightening his biceps into a muscle man pose. This is primal male flesh. Can a fold out and playgirl be far behind? I hear what they put on the staple in your dick hurts like hell, I said. Bobster dropped the dumbbell and shot me the bone. I helped Coop cradle the barbell and he sat up. No way, man. They don't do that. Picking up the towel, Bobster wrapped it around Coop's face. He sat on a bench opposite Rob. What is this crap about glass anyway? No offense, man, but he paused, searching for words. The guy's a full goose magoo. A full goose magoo? It had to be bad. When Bob couldn't think of a phrase, he made them up. I kept a list, the Book of Bob. Coop and I flopped on the slant boards and started sit ups. Rob moved to the butterfly machine. He sat, adjusted the tension, hooked his forearms behind the pads, pulled them together, and released. That's the point. Making glass popular is a true challenge. He pressed the pads together and released. And I loves a challenge. He looked like a kid with the Christmas present. Might be fun, Bobster said. Like that pig story we read in English. Rob looked to me to translate. He means Pygmalion, I said. Come on, Coop, let's hit the showers, if you want to help with that research paper. Coop stood up and slung his towel around his neck. It would be cool to help Glass. I feel sorry for him. Coop's three mutts bolted from under the sagging front porch and hit the cracked and oil-stained driveway, wiggling and wagging, overjoyed that their master was home. I was explaining the difference between footnotes and endnotes as we banged through the screen door of his kitchen and dumped our books on the littered table. One glance said it all. A long time since a woman had lived here. Coop, a slurred, raspy voice bellowed. Coop grimaced. Caveman is home. He moved to the doorway between the kitchen and the den. Yeah? What is it, Dad? Get your lazy butt in here. Coop trudged into the small, dark room. I saw the muscles in his jaw bunch. Coop's dad sprawled in a recliner. His enormous bulk sagged over the sides. He wore old paint-stained khakis and a dirty ribbed undershirt. A roll of fat escaped from between the bottom of the undershirt and the top of the pants. The pants were unbuttoned to accommodate his bulging waist. The recliner tilted back and the fat on his arms drooped on the vinyl when he lifted his arm to guzzle his beer. Find the remote. I want to watch The Simpsons. He crumpled the aluminum can and dropped it. It joined the pile by his chair. Another dead soldier, he grunted. Go get me a live one. Coop fetched the beer and the remote. What's Young doing here? The tension in Coop's jaw extended and corded his neck. I shot Coop a don't worry about it look. I'm helping Coop with his research paper, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper snorted. He wiped his lips with the back of a meaty hand. Lot of good that'll do him. All he'll ever do is win trophies for letting people run into him. He gestures to a covey of gold statuettes on the television. Statuettes on the television. I won trophies too. Fullback. All district. Not good enough for a scholarship. Ended up pumping gas for a living. He will, too, just like his old man. Big and stupid. His words droned down. His eyes blinked, then closed, then blinked again. Get out of here. Coop was gone. I looked in the kitchen but found him in his room, shuffling his note cards. A framed photograph stood on a nightstand. The woman had dark red hair, a snub nose, big, round, dark eyes, and a mischievous grin. Coop looked just like her, right down to a slightly crooked front tooth that made him resemble a happy, overgrown first grader. Coop's eyes, though, didn't glint with her quirky intelligence. Coop's mom was the bouncy cheerleader who married the high school gridiron star. He went to seed and she took off. Smart enough to vamoose, she was cold enough to leave Coop. He and his dad were too much alike. He's full of it, Coop. You'll get a scholarship. You've been scouted by every university around. If I don't pass English, I won't get shit. And a torn tendon, a broken bone, anything, and I'll be digging ditches for the county or he swallowed and muttered, pumping gas. He buried his face in the black and white ruff of the dog that had crept into the bed. English is my thing. I can write this paper standing on my head and farting Dixie. Listen to Young, the Magnificent, and don't break your leg. If you do, we'll shoot you like a horse. I punched Coop's shoulder, trying to cheer him. Might as well, he said. Dead's better than pumping gas. I saw the fear in his face. You aren't him, Coop. He forced a grin. Right. And you aren't John Keats either, but you have to do a critical analysis of his poems, Wuss. Let's lock and load. My words bounced off the grimy sheetrock walls and echoed down the hollow hall.